Hello, hello.
Yo!
Welcome to today's episode. And I have someone that I have been excited to speak with for a long time. My personal trainer, Marissa, who keeps my butt in line most days. But I'm super stoked because she defines leadership to me in many ways, not just our traditional way that we look at it, but multifactorial, if I may say so. So we'll get into this as we go along, and you guys will know what I'm talking about. So, hey, how are you?
I'm great. I'm great. This is
I
so
am
cool.
so stoked. I am so stoked to have you here. Now, a lot of our viewers, listeners, obviously don't know you. For those that may not know you, can you share a little bit about who you are? What has your journey been, and what do you do?
Oh, yeah, of course. My name is Marissa K, also known as Coach Beefcake. And my number one goal in life is to help as many ladies as possible just break the habit of self-sabotage by building a strong body, a resilient mind, and sustainable habits. And I fell into coaching just because I was trying to really dive into my own journey, and it led to all of this. So it's been pretty wild over the past 5 years or so.
That's amazing. So, were you always interested in fitness, or what has your personal path onto this been? What drew you onto this?
I've always been into sports. I was an athlete as, an adolescent, in high school and stuff like that. I went into the military when I was 17, and I wanted to pursue criminology, crime in the US. And, I was a police officer in the military. And it turns out I don't want to do any of that. All of that was very, I want to say, a little overwhelming because it was requiring, just all of me, and I had no personal life, and just wasn't able to carry that burden. I wasn't built for that. So tried to, slowly step away from that. And after spending so much time and energy into that field, I was like, well, I'll just go get a real job. And I ended up selling insurance at Allstate. And then, on my personal time, I did 75 hard, and that changed my life forever. And before I knew it, I was helping other people just build habits, and it just kind of grew from there.
That's crazy. Wow. I mean, you could write a book about all this. Where's the
Yeah,
thought?
probably could, huh?
Was there a defining moment that made you realize, or when anything that comes to mind that was specific that changed the course of your career as it was and where you are now?
Yes. Yes, during COVID, I was standing in line at the liquor store, which apparently had been deemed one of the businesses that could remain open. Weird, right? That was the weirdest thing to me. Once I realized it, I was standing in line and I was like, I have my mask on and stuff, and I'm like, why is the liquor store open? And it just something just clicked. I was like, you know what? And I put that little bottle back on the shelf, and I went home and I started 75 hard. And so that was the moment, like, I realized that if I didn't stop self-sabotaging, because I was always healthy, right? I was always, in the gym and all of the things, but I was still doing things that were driven from self-hate. So the self-sabotage came from self-hatred, and I had just had to, start that healing journey and figure out what was causing me to make those decisions that were hurting me and not helping me. And yeah, I just became like fully immersed in learning all that I could. I bought every self-help book that I could get my hands on. I think I read maybe 50 or 60 books in one year. I was obsessed. And the better I felt, the more I wanted to learn. And the more that I learned, the more I wanted to share. And so that's just, yeah, that's how it all happened.
That's amazing because my next question for you was going to be, have you struggled with imposter syndrome? Because that is what, is your purpose, right? To help
Right.
women overcome that self-sabotage. But yes, that was your defining moment, other than the books and such. How did you actually work yourself into overcoming that?
Oh my goodness. It took a lot of time alone. I had to I had to be alone because the people that were around me were giving me a hard time for the decisions that I was making. Apparently, alcohol is the only drug that is socially acceptable to pressure people into consuming, into doing. And I had to get away from all of those people who were making me feel bad for making good decisions for myself. So spending all of that time alone, I think was something that was really necessary for me to develop into the person that I wanted to be instead of, remaining the person that I was.
Huge props because I know exactly what you're talking about. You almost feel shamed into believing that what you're doing for your own self is somehow not right. And
Yeah.
then, of course, you and I have geeked out about this, but we both have a mentor, if I may say so, that
Yes.
I was telling Christina, shout out to Christina, by the way.
Woo-hoo!
I know, right? I was telling her about how everybody at the gym turned around to look at us when we both went, Dr. Joe! When I was going
Oh
for his
man.
camp. And, for
Oh
those that are
wow.
watching us, we are both huge, huge followers, proponents of Dr. Joe
Wow.
Dispenza, his teachings.
Yes.
And would you say he had a role played? It's my dream to get him on this
Oh
show
my gosh.
someday.
A
I'm going to
huge
manifest that.
impact. Oh my gosh. Dr. Joe changed my life. He's the reason that I stopped having anxiety attacks. Like this guy, just understanding the basics uh, of just your own thoughts and hearing it that way. I found him on YouTube. He was on like some kind of, podcast.
Yeah.
I would geek out if he was on your show. I would lose my mind. I love that man. I would love to go to one of those seminars. I can't wait to go one day. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, no, that for sure, for sure. What was a challenge that at the time, not necessarily what we were talking about, that at that time felt like, oh my gosh, I'm such a failure, because we've all been through that, right? I've beaten myself up so much about it. But then in hindsight, being 2020, you're like, what a blessing. Was there one moment or a defining moment like that?
Um, Lots.
Where
Lots
you,
of
right?
moments like that. Lots of moments like that. And with the imposter syndrome, the combination of those two things, they were happening a lot there in the beginning, especially when I first started helping other people and starting a Facebook group community, the High Quality Crew. And yeah, there were so many moments. I don't even know where to start.
You're like, I can write a book.
Man, I should do that.
You should. I'm going to hold you to it. How do you define leadership?
Leadership. You lead by example, and that is the only way to lead. So I know that I became a good leader because I was willing to do every single thing that I was asking of my clients or of my crew. And I would never ask them to do something that I wasn't willing to do or wasn't already doing myself. And it's incredibly difficult to hold the line as a coach if you are not walking the walk.
Amen.
Definitely.
Amen. Like you wouldn't want to see me as a dentist if I had holes in my front teeth. So I
Nope.
hear you on that. I completely hear you. You mainly work with women, is that right? Or do you just absolutely only work with women?
I mainly work with women. I do have a few men who come to me, and of course, they are not very open about coming to a female and asking for help. But they do. They have come to me, and I help them with just the basics. But ladies, that is my specialty because I am one. I was raised by one,
Yeah.
and that is where I feel called. Young women, it doesn't matter the age, just women.
So, what are some of the most common mindset blocks that you're noticing in not just the women that you work with? I mean, I know the quality and the caliber of people that you serve, but what are
Mhm.
the mindset blocks that you're observing in these high achievers that you work with?
Belief, and that was mine too. That's always been one of mine, but I feel like that is the number one thing for women is the belief that they can do the thing that they want to do. Another big one is mental blocks of like the imposter syndrome, and just not being able to receive because they don't
Man,
feel like
that's
they
a
deserve it.
gnarly one. Don't we all still struggle with it so much? And usually the ones that are the most deserving and capable and able are the ones that battle with it the most. Good grief.
It's crazy. Yeah.
What's the best advice that you have received that changed how you showed up as a leader?
Oh my goodness. The best advice that I received. Oh my goodness. There's just so much. Uh, um,
I know I had a guest go, just one? You really want
just
me to say just one? Like, more is fine.
oh man. Well, I have some of the best coaches and mentors around the world that I could possibly ask for. Um, I think the best advice as far as coaching goes would be meet them where they're at, not where you expect them to be.
Yeah, yeah, that's gold. That's pure gold. I know I came to you with a broken shoulder that is still partially broken. And I will tell everybody that will listen, like, you're probably one of the only trainers that I have worked with that has worked to accommodate me. And it's made a huge difference. I mean, obviously,
I'm so glad.
I know it's
I'm
super
so glad.
exciting. Do you have a morning routine?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would not be able to do what I do without my morning routine. The first thing that I do every morning is my devotional and my meditation. And that allows me to give my very best to everyone that I interact with, whether that is on, a live Facebook stream or a PT session, whatever it may be. That is the number one thing that I have to do is follow my morning routine.
Do you
Yes.
want to share what you do?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Some of
sure.
us can
So,
get inspired.
first thing is definitely the meditation and the devotional. I use the Insight Timer app and the Glorify app. They're both free, and one of them has a built-in timer. But the thing that I like is that it shows you how many days in a row you've kept up with your habit. So that's fun. The next thing that I do is hydrate, water with electrolytes, always before coffee. The next thing I will do is try to get in some vitamin D, 10 minutes of sunlight. And then I must move my body in the morning, whether that is stretching or going for a walk. I don't try to kill myself with cardio. I just go for a walk. It's very simple, very basic, but it works. And then I have a high protein breakfast, as you know, as you
Yes,
know.
she's all about the protein as she should be.
Yeah.
Which of these has been the game changer? If you were to tell me, it's like of everything that I talk about, this one thing is a non-negotiable or should be the first thing you should start with. What would that be?
Yeah. It used to be walking. It is meditation now, 100%.
Yep. And all of this, would you agree, starts the night before, getting the good night's sleep,
Yes.
right? We are
Yes.
always,
Always, always. The nighttime routine, that is the one. Yes, the wind down before bed because sleeping is a skill and
yes.
and it is the superpower.
It sure
So,
is.
yeah.
It most definitely is. So, how do you balance with everything that you do, everybody that you serve? How do you balance leadership, business, because everything you do, as well as personal fulfillment, not just what you want for
Right.
yourself, but for your loved ones as well, without the burnout? How do you bring all of that together?
Oh my God, I love that question. Well, I'm going to simplify this. It's gonna sound simple. I schedule it. So
Yes.
I schedule my fun time, my downtime, my brain breaks, just like I would schedule this Zoom call or a one-on-one consultation with a client. So I live and thrive by my Google Calendar, and it's attached to my watch, so it just tells me what I'm supposed to be doing. But yes, that scheduled time off, like completely off, is vital for my business and for my personal life and for my relationship because I none of the other stuff works without me working at my absolute best. So that break really helps.
Yeah, nor does it matter, right? If you're not able to be you 100%, the rest of it really, who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Is there a practice or belief that you have let go of? Something that you believed in the past that has made you a better leader now?
Yeah. Yeah. Never stop learning. Always, always, always be learning.
Mhm.
Because when your cup is full, there's no room to receive anything else. So, you know, one day I might be an expert in my field, but if I don't have the humility to continue learning, then I'm limited.
Yeah.
And if I'm limited, then the results that my people are going to get is going to be limited. And so that's how I see it.
Yeah, it's like I tell my girls, it's if I ever say I'm stopped learning, it's either I'm dead or, well, I'm dead. I
Right,
can't,
right.
it's not even time
Right.
to retire. I'm just dead. So,
Yeah, exactly.
since we are talking about lead with soul, what does leading with soul mean to you?
It means knowing your why and taking action on it every single day. Is it as uncomfortable as it may be? Those uncomfortable things lead you to where you want to be.
That, love that. If you could go back to that 17-year-old Marissa, what would be one thing that you'd say to her? What one piece of advice would you have for her right now?
I would say you're going to get these braces off and then they're going to come back on in your 30s. Don't be mad about it.
Aligners for the win.
Oh man, yeah, braces twice was horrible. No, I would tell her that it's okay to receive. And that is how the universe works. I know you want to give, but you have to be able to receive. The
Isn't
second
it
I
so
I
hard
finally learned
though?
that,
It is the hardest thing. I still struggle with it sometimes.
it's hard. Right. It is hard.
Being
So
able to
that's
ask for help and actually accept that from
yes.
someone that truly loves you. But even then, oh my gosh, I love that. I
Yep.
love that.
Yep.
If someone who's listening to us today, or listening to us, is feeling stuck or
Mhm.
they're feeling uninspired,
Yeah.
what is one action that you would say start today? And not just their fitness journey, it could be life, it could be work, or even their fitness journey. What would be one thing that you'd say, just do this?
I I would say put it on paper. Put it all on paper. Everything that you write down is 7 times more likely to happen. So if you just write down what is it that I truly want and you just start digging from there, you can set your goals and then you can create daily actions to help you reach those goals. But start with putting it on paper and take one small action because one small action precedes another, precedes another, precedes another.
Chain reaction right there.
Exactly. We love a
That's
good chain
amazing.
reaction.
I love it. Love it. It also could mean just brain dumping, not just all the positive or the future things that you want, but everything that's percolating in that head.
Yes.
Because, well, there's no room for new ideas, for new growth, for new anything. So put it all out on paper, get that brain to be a clean slate. And
Yep.
have you noticed the creativity then just starts to flow?
It does. It does. It helps so
Love
much.
it. Love
Yes.
it. Where can people find you? Where can people connect with you? How can they learn more about you?
So yes, I have a Facebook group community for people who are on Facebook. I am on Instagram. I'm also on YouTube, on TikTok. So mostly everywhere.
And we will share
um,
all of your social links in the
for sure.
description in the notes, the show notes. So
Awesome.
don't worry about everybody wondering where to find her.
I'm there.
And before we were logging on, we talked about the 10 hacks, tips. What was it that you were telling me? Share that with our viewers, please.
Yeah, yeah. So I have a PDF that is, 10 steps to hack your nutrition, very basic, actionable things that you can do to increase your protein and just start feeling a little bit better. Quality of life is everything. So those tips are available. And then inside of the Facebook group, I have so many free resources. So that's a great place to be.
I can attest to that. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
always doing something. So let's do the plank challenge now. No, you do it.
You do it.
Hey,
Yeah.
before we wrap up today's show, is there anything exciting that is coming up that you want to share with all of us so we can cheer you on, we can support you, we can root for you?
Well, next year, I am hoping that some of my clients are going to do the transformation category and we'll share the stage on the same day. This is my off season. I'm also a professional bodybuilder. So next
Oh, she
year,
goes, oh, by the way, all right,
well,
let's share a little bit about that.
next
What's that
next
journey
year,
been like?
it's been awesome. I'm like an amateur pro. I'm a newbie pro. So next year, I really want to see some of my people do the transformation category because they have worked so hard to get incredible results, and I want them to get on stage and strut their stuff. So I'm really excited to do that next year.
That's amazing. Tell me, as our last thing, I keep saying one last thing, but that
Yeah.
behind you, keep becoming. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Oh yeah, yeah. So keep becoming. That is our slogan. That's what we say. You know what to do. Keep becoming the best version of you. Because if you are always striving to become that person, then you are always becoming a better version of yourself. So that's our little saying that we have in the high quality crew.
Love it, love it. I hope you've trademarked it. But
I need to.
yeah,
It's getting popular.
yes, yes. Love it. Thank you so much, so much for taking time
Thank
out
you,
today. And
Meghna.
just, it's good to see your face and the
You
world
too.
to know your magic. So we will share all of her social media links in our show notes. Follow her, reach out to her. She's an amazing human being. And as I said, keep becoming. Thank you so
Yay.
much.
Thank you, Meghna.